Alright, so I have decided to go ahead and go with an e-commerce store now. With the e-commerce store, it is an online business, and I have kind of gone through back and forth of this idea, and I've decided that this would probably be the best way for me to go ahead and go about it. And with the e-commerce store, I can make crop tops, sweats, shirts, and so many other great products. The company name that I have decided to go with is called Dizzy Co. Now, for my company, what would set me apart would be my designs. And with the way social media is going right now at this point, TikTok is growing, Instagram has been popular, Snapchat is still popular, and same with Twitter. That would be a very great way for my brand to kind of get out there and get known into the new market that is starting to grow with these younger people who are starting to become shoppers. Now, the fashion industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. There's always money that is being made in that industry. So that would be a really good target market to go ahead and go after. Now, when it comes to supply and demand, that really honestly is one of the big things that can hurt a business or help a business grow. Generally, the economy is something that will determine that. If people are making money, then they're going to be spending their money. And if people aren't making money, then they're not going to be spending their money. So that would be one thing I would definitely need to take into consideration with my business. Now, with our demand, it can be brought down by other companies depending on their designs and how big their name already is. So that would be something that you would have to kind of be on the ball to see what is trending, what can you do better, what designs are people liking more and more, or what are they not liking, and kind of base your decisions off of that kind of information that you do find. Now, to go ahead and combat this, what I would go ahead and do is I would consider actually becoming more of like a drop ship. Now, with a drop ship, one thing that is really nice about it is that there is no overhead. You don't have those stores, so you don't have any rent, you don't have any electricity or water or anything like that that you would ever have to worry about. That is something that would be very big for a small business and starting business like myself, having to take all that into consideration. That was one of the reasons why I also decided to go with the drop ship. Also, with the drop ship, whatever I can save with my store, then that means I can pass that savings on over to the consumers. Now, the consumers, they always want to save money, so that would be a big benefit in my company to where I can give that back to the consumers. Now, with the products and the quality of it, it's the same product, same quality. You are just getting it at a very much lower price. And with a business, with it being a virtual business, like I said, you're not going to need an actual physical location. So that's definitely something that I honestly find pretty nice because, like I said, you don't have to worry about that overhead or anything like that. And with it being a virtual store, what I have found doing some online research is that I can use a company called Printful. Now, Printful, they have no minimum requirements of how much someone has to spend in order for a shipment to get out. They have low cost, and it's a pretty good quality product, it seems like so far. Now, how it works. So basically what ends up happening is, so I come up with a design, and with that design, I send that on over to them. They print it and have it in their store or in their warehouse, and when a product is ordered, they go ahead and just print that design on that shirt and then just go ahead and ship it out. And they are partnered with this other company called Shopify. Now, Shopify is the company I would go through to kind of create my website and be able to have that transaction for people to make their orders, for people to look at a website to get some product ideas that they want to maybe potentially purchase. Now, through Shopify, whenever they do make a cart, make a basket, and they go to a checkout stage, in that checkout stage, they'll enter their address, their demographics, and then they'll enter their debit or credit card information there, and then they'll go ahead and pay for it there. And with Shopify being connected to Printful, when that order is placed through Shopify, Shopify instantly sends them over an order request, and then that Printful company will fulfill that request, print the shirts, make the shirts, package the shirts or clothing, any clothing, and go ahead and send that out. Now, with Shopify, there is no monthly price, or there is a monthly price, but there's no commitment to having to be a long-term company with them. So that is a good thing to also look at. Now, if I was to think maybe go about Amazon, when you are a seller on their website, they take a fee per sale. So they'll take a certain percentage of the sale, and they'll keep that to themselves, and then they'll give you the rest of that. Some economic indicators that I have looked into for my company and what would kind of help it or not help it would be unemployment. Unemployment, people aren't making any money. There's no money coming in. So that company is not going to be having a lot of products sold. So that would be one thing I would be highly looking into at that time when I would be deciding to start my business. Also looking at kind of the ratio amount of debt that people have in the age of 16 to 30, which would be my target audience. Looking into that, if people have a lot of debt, they probably don't have a lot of money to buy things because they're trying to pay all that debt off. So that would be something that I would really need to take into consideration for all that information. And also with the unemployment, it also shows what the stability is of the economy at the time, because no employment means no one has jobs. So that can hurt a business very severely. Now, what would be really good about my business, Dizzy Co., would be that I'm an online store. Like I said earlier, it's a low overhead, so I don't have to worry about an actual store or having to pay employees or anything of that nature. And it's also a low risk because I have no commitment with having to keep my company open. I have no commitment of Amazon if I were to sell through them. I don't need to be giving someone a fee or anything like that. Now, it is a low risk. So some of the risks that I could potentially have issues with would be advertising. If you do not have any advertising, you're not going to get your product out there at all. So what I have thought about in order to get that advertising is to maybe get in contact with some freelancers in my area or in other areas. Freelance workers, they do side jobs in a sense, and they do it at a low price. So they are able, if I can find them, there's some that can do advertisements or modeling or just things like that, and they'll do it at a low price, so it's still not that much of a price hinder for me. And yeah, one of the challenging things would just be getting the placements out there, trying to get my name of a company out there. But that's when the social media and everything would come into play, and the advertisements and all that. Yeah, so that would be my business model.